Welcome back to the BVarsity Live Super Show. I'm Zach Ewing with Trevor Horn. This is segment number 4, and we move to the Southeast Yosemite League and South High coach Cary Mills. Cary, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
I'm glad that you could be here with us, and this is a exciting team to watch the last couple of years, and should be just as exciting in 2015. You guys have a lot coming back.
Yes, we do. Our skill guys, pretty much all of them are coming back. The defense, 8 returners. Probably our biggest question is the O-line.
Okay.
If we get that O-line up to speed, then those skill guys will be able to perform like they have been.
Now, that offensive line is something that will keep a coach up at night, though.
Yes, it will. But, we one of our problems last year, I should say problems, one of our problems, but we had 3 varsity coaches. So we lacked eyes, and a lot of times we missed the little things. And this year we have added some coaches.
Okay.
O-line coach Steve Falk, old AD at North High. And
He's been around the block a couple of times.
He's who I started under, and he had some time. He's retired and has lots of time on his hands, so he wanted to come help out, and he's doing a great job so far. It's been a big plus to have him.
Yeah, we love Steve. He'll tell you. He'll tell it like it is, and that's sometimes what the kids need. So
yes, he will.
That's definitely true. The skill guys, Aries Harris, real exciting guy as a sophomore. Maybe struggle with consistency a little bit. He was a sophomore.
True.
But how has he progressed going into his junior season?
He's definitely more confident. He's throwing the ball a little better, and I think he understands our offense better. So he can get guys in place when they're if they're out of place. He knows where they're supposed to be, and he can do do that job that a quarterback should do. Control the offense and run the offense. So.
I hear it so often. It's great that you're a great athlete. You can make plays. We only want you to do that when you have to do that. Otherwise, just manage the game and get it to the.
He's a great kid. He's like 8 years old. He's just always happy, and so we're really having to have him focus and get, hey, you need to learn coverages. You need to learn this offense, and he's taken that role this year.
Boy, I don't know anybody like that.
I say that in a good way.
Yeah, no, it is a good thing. We love the enthusiasm. PJ Jones, your lead running back this year?
Yes, I'd have to say he's our lead, but
I thought he was your lead everything this year, Cary.
He's going to be all over the field.
Yeah.
He's that kind of football player. He can do it all. He excels on defense, he excels on offense, he excels on special teams. But offensively, at least a close right behind him and pushing him every bit of the way is Devin McCord. Right. Theyose two guys they're always together. They're almost like brothers.
And we brought it up in the break, but they're guys who just, not that this is important for this segment, but it just feels like they're tailor-made for like that Arena Bowl type style that we'll see them in the spring because they're fast. They use the whole field. They can get around. They can make those cuts.
Yes, and of course, PJ being a little larger, he was more of our power runner, but he ran track this year, and it definitely helped with his speed. And so Devin, and he's already. He's just quick.
Well, what's funny about
thunder and lightning.
Yeah. What's funny about PJ is when I said should he be at Robbo this winter, I was speaking more specifically on the wrestling mat.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true. What was he, 172 this year, or 170 guy?
Yeah, that's right. And he is a monster of a wrestler. He's inexperienced in that realm too, but you could just see him picking things up so fast.
Well, the new Coach Vasquez, who's my freshman football coach, he's the head wrestling coach. He's doing a great job with PJ. He's one of the true. He's old school. He's a 3-sport athlete: football, wrestling, and he runs track.
We love that.
Cary, one of the things that you and I talked about last week when I went out there was, defense wins championships. That's the old adage. And, you guys have done really well. You guys went undefeated in the league last year. You went up and, you got that 35-7 first quarter against Madera kind of took the wind out of your sail and, they're in the quarterfinals. But, with so much coming back, there's a lot of excitement for you guys to kind of push the envelope this year and to see how far you can go because – you have so much coming back on a very successful defense this year.
Correct. And, we feel that we have, we learned a lot from that game. And I think that's where some of our maybe a little undisciplined at times where that kind of play really hurt us against a good team like Madera. So we feel with the extra coaches and stuff that will having those extra eyes out there will help us get better defensively. We've made some adjustments, changed some kids around, and we think personnel-wise, just by the little movements, the few changes we made, we're better. PJ's going back to he'll be our gambler, or what we call it, our safety, what we call the gambler, and
Kind of a rover type.
Yeah, he's going to
position,
be he'll be able. That gives him access to the whole field instead of just one side. And then a couple of other kids we moved around, and at least on paper and so far in practice, it looks like we've made the right changes. So I think we'll be better there. I think with the extra coaches, the extra eyes, we'll be much better defensively. And you're right, defense has to, they win championships for you.
And you got a heck of a leader there in the middle on Isaiah Morales. I mean, that kid is not the tallest, but he's wide and he's strong and he's fast and he's vocal.
Yeah, he is vocal. And he has a partner too. It seems like our whole team kind of works in pairs, but he has a partner on Alex Gutierrez, who's he's really the motor of that linebacker crew, and Isaiah kind of controls him.
Isaiah Carr also in there.
Isaiah Carr, we moved up. Yeah. He was our safety, and we moved him up.
Yeah, you basically switched him and PJ, right?
Correct, correct. And so Isaiah Morales, being in the middle, he controls those guys. He makes most of the defensive calls. He knows the defense really well. So, yeah, we're ready to go. Defensively, the linebackers, all of them are coming back. We have 5 linebackers. 4/5 of them were all league. The other one, PJ, was offensive.
Yeah, I don't think people realize, 10 years ago where South High football was. It's where Foothill is now and Miramontes. I mean, you guys were in the dregs.
Yes.
It was tough to even win a game.
Yes.
And a lot of the credit goes to the late John Wren for building the program. But you guys have it rolling now to the point where you won a league championship now 2 years in a row, and we're talking about contending for Valley championships, as tough as Division III is going to be.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, do you ever take a step back and say, it's amazing how far we've come in 10 years?
No, I remember John's first year was 0-10, and then he won 3 games, and I think he won 4, then 5. Had a down year in there, maybe 4. But, he got the ball rolling, and he really had made it easy for me in the fact he just built a really strong foundation. And I shouldn't say because I've been with him the whole time.
No, it wasn't just him, and that's what, yeah.
But, he was the leader at the time. So I saw what was going on. I saw the foundation we had. He really kind of built the football culture up at South, so the kids know what to do, when to do it, what's expected of them. If they want to play football, this is what you have to do. He really put a lot more accountability into the program, and I think it's paid off now. And I'm just really trying to keep that what he started. I'm trying to keep that going, and then just adding on a little bit of my own. The offense has evolved a lot since John's first year. 3 years ago of calling the offense, we were doing a lot more than we're doing a lot of different things than than we were then. So sure. I mean, there's some of my personality in it now, but a lot of the foundation was coach. Definitely was built by a lot of guys, and Coach Wren being the main one.
Yeah, and absolutely, you've added a twist to it as well. And I mean, I just want to emphasize that this is a success story. This is the coaches at these schools that have struggled for years talk about turning it around and the steps they can take. And there is nothing harder in high school football than to take a program that is not used to winning and changing the culture and turning it into a winner. And that's what you guys have managed to do. So that deserves a lot of kudos. Now let's focus in on those areas. We'll look at your schedule here in a minute, but those areas you mentioned that might be concerns. Offensive line. Who has to carry that group? Who are you really looking to step up and have a big year there?
Most likely Kahari Johnson. And
it's a big boy.
He's a big boy, and he has 2 years experience. He started as a sophomore, and so he's definitely going to be one who has to carry the line. But also our center, Montana Torres, who's also a wrestler. Those are probably the two guys, and Victor Organista. Those guys at least have experience, and so they should be able to get the other guys up to speed.
And how about at receiver? Tommy Castellon was a really key guy for you last year. Who's the target this year?
We don't have a Tommy Castellon. We have guys who are, that's a question mark for us too, and it's kind of by committee this year. We don't have just that one big receiver, but I think we'll be fine out there.
Is that the situation where when PJ's lined up in the backfield, you put Devin out there, and vice versa, you put Michael Perez out there?
We have other guys who can do it.
Yeah.
We have a JV receiver who kind of similar build to Tommy, who has been doing a good job working hard. Jaime Gonzalez. We have Michael Perez as a senior. He's been on our program a long time. He was a slot back for us last year. He'll move out there. Bobby Robinson.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna maybe messing that one up, but Bobby,
Yeah.
he'll be
you got it, Bobby.
working
Bobby.
there too.
He's also your safety, right?
He's one of our corners.
One of your corners.
Yes.
And then you guys were talking about you got a couple sophomores that you're looking to put into very key positions at
Well, one's going to be on the
too.
D line. Is going to have to take Daryl Clark's spot, and if you see him, he looks just like Daryl, big, tall, and lanky, and that's DeAndre Daniel. And then the other one is going to be at a corner. We're looking at a corner to fill one of the corner positions, and that probably should be. Right now, they're battling out is Jared Carter coming up from the freshman team, and then also Antonio McThrow, who's a transfer
Best
from West
name
High.
for a cornerback ever, McThrow.
Yeah.
Don't McThrow to me.
Yeah, dare McThrow it to me.
Yeah.
Let's take we got 2 minutes left. Let's take a quick look at your schedule here, Cary. And you start with Delano. You're at Chavez. These games, none of them are jump off the paper like that's going to be a championship team. But my gosh, they're all tough games. I mean, there's no breaks in there.
Well, especially we've won the league last 2 years, so I know we get into league. Those teams are all gunning for you, so those games are going to be hard. And like you said, they're not maybe necessarily the top teams around town, but those schools, they're going to play hard. They're going to be well prepared, and they're going to be coming at us because they know if they can beat us, then they have a chance at a league title. The Delano schools are getting better and better, and definitely Chavez is a team that we are eyeing, and we're not looking past Delano itself either.
And they're both Division. Chavez still in Division 4. I think Delano's D3 school. Are you at the point where you start to think about playoff seeding and that sort of thing? You kind of got your feet wet the last couple of years. You won a playoff game last year. Now do you look at it as, okay, where can we slot in, and what's the best path for us to chase a section title? Or am I getting ahead of myself?
Yeah, kind of. I heard Russ right before me talk about just that game one, and that's really where we're focused right now. It's just a week-to-week thing. I think as a head football coach, you can't look ahead. You got to prepare for each team each week because it's high school kids you're dealing with, and they don't have a very long attention span, and they have a very short memory.
And don't get me wrong, I totally understand where coaches are coming from when they say that, but we need like a bell in here, Trevor, for every time I hear we're just focused on week to week or day or the next opponent. I can just ding the bell and say,
no kidding.
How many times would we hear that?
Just
but that's the way you have to prepare that way, and we like to think ahead because we're not the ones who get out there Friday night and can get our butt beat if we don't. So that's how it goes. Anyway, South High is a championship contender, especially in the SEYL where they're defending champion, and then moving on from there into Division 3, hoping to make some waves in that bracket as well this year. Congratulations on the building job, Cary, and good luck in 2015.
Thank you very much.
Cary Mills, South High's head football coach. We'll be right back next. Michael Gutierrez from Highland is next on the BVarsity Super Show right after this.